Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about the originals, this time episode 309, titled The Other Girl in New Orleans, which premiered Thursday, December 3rd, 2015 on the CW. And guys, my shipper heart is singing. If you're the same ship as me, you know what I mean. So before I get started on that, just a reminder, if you haven't seen the episode, please go do so first. My spoilers are not going to do the episode justice, so go check it out for yourself, then come back and see what I thought about it, or what I picked up, or what I liked about it. So let me just start my 10-minute clock, and let's begin. So something new that we learned in this episode, there's actually two different storylines going on in this episode, or two missions, I guess you can say. The first one is trying to find Camille, and this is being done by Klaus and reluctant Lucien, who doesn't understand why Klaus is willing to play Aurora's games in order to find Camille when Camille's just a measly human. Klaus didn't like that so much, so he's trying to follow a series of clues to get to Camille in time before Aurora does anything. Meanwhile, Aurora is trying to figure out why Klaus is so interested in Camille, and in her mind, she thinks if he's interested in Camille, then there must be something that is the same between her and Cammy, because Klaus was supposedly obsessed with Aurora for this past 1,000 years, in Aurora's mind, just saying. So, with that, we learn Camille's dark past has to do with the fact that she was arrested for assault back when she was in college, and the dark part about it wasn't the assault part, and it wasn't that Camille was ashamed that she assaulted someone. It's the fact she's ashamed that she liked that part. I guess the darkness behind that, and Aurora concluded that her own dark impulse is why Camille studies psychology, so she can understand that better. So that was surprising to learn from Cammy. But we definitely see Aurora's jealousy appear, and her insecurities about Klaus's feelings towards her and towards Cammy. And we actually learn about Klaus's true feelings in this episode regarding the two women, for sure. And in doing so, Klaus manages to get Aurora's coordinates for Rebecca. So I'd say mission accomplished for Klaus for getting the coordinates and for saving Camille. And I'll touch back on Klaus and Camille in just a moment. But second storyline was around interrogating Tristan, and that was tasked to Elijah, Freya, and Hayley. So Freya uses magic to weaken Tristan as much as she can, trying to bypass any protective measures he's took to resist Elijah's compulsion. Hayley's there to bring the werewolf aspect to the interrogation. She does this by biting him repeatedly so that he gets more doses of the werewolf venom. And eventually, Elijah manages to get into Tristan's head and sees bits and pieces of glimpses that we've seen in past episodes, but then we also see the code name Cepheus, I think is how you pronounce it, Cepheus, and Elijah's wondering what that was. Later we find out it means something different, which I'll get back to in a second. But in this plotline, we also learn that the Strix have weapons to take down the originals that are infused with dark magic. One of them is a stake-like thing, very similar to what I used against Rebecca back in 306. So Aya has another one, and she wants Marcel to use it against Elijah so that they can bring Tristan back. So basically, Marcel does this to help the Strix get Tristan, but he doesn't use the actual stake on Elijah, it seems. Instead, he leaves it behind so that they could see what the Strix had. And Marcel's kind of like a undercover double agent into the Strix type thing. So that's for Marcel. And eventually they learn, and because Marcel is a double agent type thing, he figures out what Cepheus means, and he passes along the information to Elijah. And apparently Cepheus is a code name for Rebecca's coffin. Flight manifests were mentioned, specific cargo planes, and the fact that the timing for Cepheus being started matches up with Rebecca being taken. So apparently Elijah and Klaus are going to use those flight manifests to plot where they took Rebecca in along with the coordinates that Klaus got. So they're going to kind of use the two until they meet up in the same point, and that's where Rebecca is. So there's that. Also, on a side note, we see Jackson's grandma, Mary, returning, kind of as a pseudo babysitter for Hayley when she's needed on the other side of the street. But basically, Mary's there because Jackson's in the bayou, sulking over Hayley ruining Thanksgiving for them, and Mary has some input in the werewolf couple. So there's that. Most shocking moment of the episode. Let's see, I got quite a few. First one will have to be Cammie's past. I wasn't expecting it to go as far as her being arrested for assault. That was surprising. Next was Marcel betraying Elijah, but then when it first happens, that completely surprised me. But then we figured out that, or we learned that he didn't actually use the weapon on Elijah. He just used him with a regular stake, which wouldn't kill Elijah, just knock him out for a few hours, like we've seen before, especially in episode 208 of The Vampire Diaries. But the most shocking moment of all was at the end of the episode, and that's when Freya releases Finn from her necklace. So we actually see the original Finn, her actual twin brother's face, coming up behind her and saying hi, and she wants to talk with him. But I am not sure if it's just a spirit or if she's actually brought him back to life or what that is, but that's how the episode ends, and we actually see Casper returning as the original Finn and not Finn's soul going into someone else's body. It's actually Finn, and I'm really excited to see that. I never thought we'd see him in the present day again, so that really surprised me, and I really like that. Though I'm worried about where Finn stands, too. Okay, so top 3 favorite moments. Huge favorite moment has to be all the Klaus and Cammie moments. I am a big Camille shipper for sure. Where to begin? The fact that Klaus is so adamant on finding Camille, one point right there. The fact that he killed Lucien after he suggested that they just let Cammie die, another moment right there. The fact that Cammie is telling Aurora off for how Klaus likes her brain and likes what she offers in that sense, and then like Aurora's worried that she doesn't offer the same thing. The fact that Cammie was so confident about that fact about Klaus was just fantastic. And I love the fact that Klaus was going to seek revenge on Aurora for the main reason of what she did to Camille and then what she did to Rebecca. So it's just like he included Cammie in the reason why he wanted revenge on Aurora, which was just great. The fact that Klaus did not kill Aurora, instead he leaves when he hears Cammie's cry for help. He rushes to her side and helps her, and then he doesn't hesitate to go to her side, and there is no boundaries when she hugs him. And like you can see, like they're both relieved to have each other in each other's arms, to feel for themselves that yes, they're both okay. And I just love that. And then the final scene when Klaus is checking up on Cammie and they were talking back at the compound, the music choice of that moment, I swear there was going to be a kiss. It's just the music was setting up the mood and everything, and like, no, I like the scene that we got, but that music tricked me for sure. And then when him covering her with the blanket at the end when she wanted to rest, I just love it. I'm sorry for gushing. It's just we rarely saw Klaus and Cammie in this first part of the season, and it's just really great to see them together again on screen. And they haven't even kissed yet. Like Aurora said, it's just I Can't wait for when they have that first kiss. Okay, moving on. Next favorite moment has to be the fact that Elijah, Hayley, and Freya were working together to get Rebecca's location from Tristan. I like that they each brought something different to their whole interrogation thing. Yes, it was violent. Yes, it would seem uncalled for. But you have to remember, we are in a supernatural universe, and Elijah is a 1,000-year-old immortal vampire with a very dark past. Freya is an 1,000-year-old witch with massive power, and Hayley is a hybrid who has the enhanced anger of a werewolf. So, like, she's kind of like, there's the alarm. She's like a downplayed version of Klaus. Because if Klaus were there, and Tristan had to do with Elijah, Klaus, and Freya, I don't think things would work out well for him. I'm just saying. So it was great to see them working together. Next favorite moment has to be Klaus beating Aurora at her own game. When we see them at the alleyway, when he's telling her that there's nothing between them, you're in my past, this is it, and Aurora doesn't believe him, he truly lays it into her as to why it will never work between them, why he has completely moved on from her. And then when he easily goes into her head and takes the coordinates he needs to get Rebecca, I just love that moment, because you can see it on Aurora's face that she never thought that Klaus would do that, would never go into her mind, because she believed that him doing that, it's kind of like if you love someone, you're not going to go that far into betraying their privacy. So in Aurora's mind, she believed that Klaus loved her, so she didn't think that he'd ever invade her mind. Yet I love that it was so simple, and I was wondering why they would not do that just to get something that's supposedly only in their heads. So I really like that when Klaus did that, it snuffed the arrogance from Aurora in being the one to hold all the cards in regards to Rebecca. I really like that. It's nice to see her being knocked down a peg or two for sure. Because Klaus, he's the alpha male, like he stated before. It's only right that yeah. So let's go to top 3 peeved moments. Hold on. Okay, pet peeves. First one has to be Marcel's initial betrayal, obvious reasons. In that moment, definitely did not like that Marcel would pick the Strix over Elijah, but then again, Strix were threatening his life, so that kind of takes it back. But the fact that he's actually being a double agent, not really peeved anymore. Just saying. At least he saved Hayley in the moment, and he saved Freya. At least that kind of proved to Elijah that he's not truly betraying them. Enough said. Next peeved moment has to be how difficult it was to get Tristan to talk, especially to get into his head. I mean, what did he do to make himself so resistant? I mean, Freya must have been throwing so much magic at him, Hayley throwing so much werewolf venom at him. And it's like, he's not an immortal, like, an original, but, like, how is he doing this? It's just so irritating how two immortal beings, like Elijah and Freya, just frustrating that neither of them could get to Tristan so easily. I didn't think it'd be this hard. Maybe that's why I'm peeved. Or maybe because I'm holding the Michelsons up on this power pedestal, and that's another issue entirely. Okay, another peeved moment, and this one's going to cause a rant, is Grandma Mary getting involved in Hayley's business, especially in regards to the Michelson family. I get Mary wants to support her grandson in Jackson and the marriage he has with Hayley, telling Hayley that she needs to pick Jackson, who is her family. What I don't like is the fact that they are basically indirectly telling Hayley to abandon the Michelsons, who are going to be and who are Hayley's family. And Hope's family too. And it's not just that. It's the pack, Jackson, all of them, they're all werewolves. They're all mortal. They're all going to get old and they're all going to die. So, and Hayley is immortal. She's not going to die unless someone actually rips out her heart or decapitates her. So Hayley's going to lose Jackson eventually. She's going to lose her wolf pack eventually, because none of them are going to want to turn into hybrids so that they can be part vampire for the rest of eternity. Jackson's even said it before that he refuses to become a hybrid. So where does that leave Hayley? That leaves Hayley with the Michelson family, a family that will live forever. Ignoring the whole prophecy bit, but the Michelsons are a family who can live forever. So logically, why would Hayley turn her back on a family she knows she'll have for eternity over a family that is eventually going to leave her? Sure, it makes sense that she's going to spend more time with the family that she's going to have little time with, aka the Wolfpack and Jackson. But by doing that and turning her backs against the Michelsons can easily view that as a betrayal. Therefore, they can easily view Hayley as not family anymore. And when the time comes for Hayley to want to go back to them, aka when all her Wolfpack and Jackson are dead, Michelsons might not even take her back because she left them first. And we all know how the Michelsons don't forgive easily, and they always hold grudges. So it's like, isn't it better to stay on the good side of the Michelsons than it is to take them off and then plan to go back to them later on? I'm just saying. It's just, she shouldn't have to pick between the two, because they are both her families for many different reasons. Hang on. Okay, so what will I remember most about this episode? Cammy and Klaus. Hello. Big one right there. Enough said. Random questions. First, is it possible that Klaus already knew about Cammy's past, or did he simply not look into it like Aurora did because he wanted to learn about Cammy through what she revealed to him? I kind of think he didn't know until he overheard Cammy telling Aurora. But then there was that joke that he made that kind of made me think he did know. I don't know. What did you think? Next question. Is there a reason why getting coordinates from Aurora was easier than from Tristan? I might have mentioned it earlier. Maybe it's because Aurora didn't think Klaus would stoop to invading her mind, so therefore she didn't feel the need to protect it like Tristan did with his own mind. I don't know. Maybe because it's some psychological thing. I don't know. What do you think? Next question. Is Finn just a spirit that Freya summoned from within her necklace? Or is he here to stay? And if he's here to stay, how is that possible? And is Finn on Team Michelson, or does he still want to kill his siblings? Although I'm assuming he wanted to kill them because of Dahlia, unless he still thinks they're all abominations or anything, or rather. And if Finn's been in the necklace, does that mean he doesn't know what's going on right now? I don't know, I'm very curious for Finn's return. I wasn't expecting it, so I'm very excited to see how that's going to go. Now, if only Cole were back, then all the Michelsons would be alive in the present day. Except for Henrik. Poor Henrik. So, last question. Does Lucien have an ulterior motive in wanting Aurora for himself again? I mean, we saw at the very end that when Aurora was kind of broken up over Klaus's mean words to her, I guess you can say, Lucien was there trying to give a supportive shoulder. And I'm kind of wondering if all the things that Lucien said about Aurora to Klaus earlier was just so that Klaus could lose interest in Aurora so that Lucien could get Aurora for himself. Just curious again. So, predictions. I saw the 309 promo, and apparently Rebecca is back. Claire Holt returns. So she's found, but she is cursed with a growing madness, and I could have sworn I saw black eyes. Kind of reminds me of Demon, or the Travelers Passengers on Vampire Diaries. Just saying. But it's definitely going to be one crazy Christmas episode for sure next week. Definitely no peace there for the holidays. Apparently, Vincent and Detective Kinney are set to appear again based off the synopsis for 309. But predictions overall, I think Double Agent Marcel is going to be discovered by the Strix, and if that were the case, things aren't going to go well for Marcel. Another prediction is that Freya is going to try to convince Finn to help protect their family, and I don't know where Finn stands on that. I hope he's there to help and not to hurt, like before. But I'm still asking, where is Cole? I want to know about Cole. I miss Cole for sure. And also, since in the last 2 weeks, we actually found out that starting in January 2016, the originals is switching nights. So starting January 29th, 2016, that is a Friday, the originals will be airing at 9 o'clock, immediately after The Vampire Diaries, which have also been moved to Friday nights. So episode 310 will be starting Friday night, January 29th at 9 p.m. So mark your calendars for that, and remember the switch dates. And that's about it. So what did you guys think of the episodes? Did you like it? Were you surprised by it? If you're a Camille shipper, were you excited about this episode? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it for sure. Any of your theories as well, always welcome. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, and to share this with all your other friends in the originals fandom. Spread the word around. Let's get this fan base growing for sure. Also, if you want more detailed recap of the episode, check out my live journal account. That's basically a play-by-play of what happens in the episode and my in-the-moment thoughts, if you will. Also, if you want more news about the originals, whether it's promos, sneak peeks, episode synopses, episode stills, any of that stuff, check out my Tumblr page. I'm bound to reblog everything I come across there. Also, if you want episode synopses, usually they become available 2 weeks before the episode is meant to air. So chances are I will have found it by the 2 weeks prior point. So be on the lookout for that. So don't forget to follow my Tumblr if you want to keep to date with those, and the links for those will be down below. And that's about it. So this is Mel wishing you all a great day, great week. Be safe wherever you are. Bundle up if you're somewhere cold, and do your Christmas shopping or holiday shopping now before the malls get crowded closer to the end of the month. So this is Mel again saying bye for now.